Hola, amigos. So I have a quick video for you all if you're thinking about catching the Auto buses in Mexico. They're like the Greyhound in the USA. And so basically, you can go online to buy your tickets or you can go in person to any stations located throughout wherever you are in Mexico. I was in Merida, so basically you go to the website auto.com.mx, you type in where you are, and it's going to also ask you, do you want this in English or Spanish? Okay, so that cleared up some confusion, I'm sure. And you put in the city where you want to go, and I was going to Mexico City. And then after you do that, it's going to take you to another page of like your tickets and also the dates and the time. Now, everything in Mexico runs by the army time, so you might want to be familiar with that. Military time, I mean. So be familiar with that. And a ride from Merida to Mexico City is about 20 something hours. Y'all heard it right. And then so after you select your ticket and a date and a time, you select your seat. And once you do that, it's pretty simple after that. It takes you to checkout. You put your credit card information in. It's safe. And yeah, I didn't have any problems with it. And I was glad that I bought my tickets online because, listen, the lines were long to get my ticket, and I could have missed my bus if I didn't purchase my ticket online. So I recommend you guys to do that if you're tech savvy. So here is what it looks like. I met some fans. I guess you could say fans, but people always want to take pictures of me. This is what the buses look like. They had free Wi-Fi on the bus, FYI, but it was a limit to that. So far so good. I'm just riding by myself in Mexico and going to Mexico City. And this is the Wi-Fi I was telling y'all about. It's only 60 megabytes. The best thing about this ride was that there were people selling you snacks with every stop. There was places where you can charge your phones and things like that. Only USB ports for that. And there were some things I didn't like about riding the auto buses, and I will be showing you guys that in a little bit. But I like to sightsee. I like that we travel through different towns and things like that. And in every state that we went to, we stopped at. They wanted to check my passport and stuff because, I mean, I don't look like I'm a Mexican, obviously, right? So that was pretty annoying to me because we traveled from Merida to Mexico City. So we stopped at quite a few states. We rode through quite a few states, and I got stopped and targeted at every particular stop. They checked my passport, they wanted to know who I was, and it, I had to identify myself and everything else. So, yeah, that was the most complicated thing at this, and the most frustrating thing about this whole ride. 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're waking you up. It doesn't matter. Once they're crossing over to another state, they want to know who are you. And then we had an incident. They're making me sit in a wet seat because my bag wet the seat. It was a full ride, and I had like fruit or something on one of the bags, and so I had to sit in a wet seat because the other girl wanted the other seat. It was her seat that she paid for. It was a whole mess. But anyway, listen, y'all. The most part that I just hated was when we had to stop at every state, and of course, my hair, my skin. They wanted, who are you? Do you have drugs or whatever? That is the worst part about the whole entire trip. It was so annoying because I'm telling you, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock. If we're going and traveling to a new state, they're stopping, and most likely they're looking at me. The only state they didn't stop me in was in Mexico City. I just had my stuff ready. I was like, listen, I know y'all gonna check me. They didn't even check my stuff in Mexico City. I guess they're used to seeing us there. um, the bus was air conditioner. They played free movies, collective movies, so you couldn't like choose your movie that you want to watch. And I knew I was getting close to Mexico City because I'm like, I see mountains and stuff, and I knew we were in Mexico City. It was a long ride. It was so long, y'all. 21 hours. And we actually got to Mexico City later than we anticipated. So if you have a set time or place where you have to be somewhere, just remember that everything moves slow in Mexico. So book ahead of time. And I thought I did that, but it still wasn't enough time for me to make it on time or where I was going. But this is Mexico City. We finally made it. Would I ever do this again? I probably would never do this again. I would just stay in the air. When you think about it, the tickets are very similar in price to fly to Mexico City. So I think I'll do that instead. But for shorter rides like Chichen Itza, Valladolid, or Cancun, I would definitely take the auto buses again. Thank you for watching.